A good Friday afternoon. Roger Hill with the VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook. Looking at the big picture, we have one main feature here, and this is going to be controlling our weather, and this is this giant ridge of higher pressure. It extends basically from the Gulf coastal areas all the way up to Hudson Bay. So it's a full latitude ridge, and it's going to be in control of our weather. There is a little coarse moisture that will come across and around the top of this ridge from time to time, but it's really not going to affect us too much. We have a little bit of moisture diving down from parts of Canada, producing some mid and high level cloudiness. We will see some of that go off and on through the period here, but we're looking at a very dry project weather period that'll really stretch from the rest of today, Friday, right into probably Tuesday. And it looks like somewhere along about Tuesday night or more like Wednesday will be next chances for any kind of precipitation that'll be in our area in the form of just some widely scattered rain showers as it looks right now, maybe an isolated rumble of thunder. But that's a long ways out. That's the end of the outlook period on Wednesday for the next 5 to 6 days. Beyond the period, we'll probably see more or less some moisture that'll start to work as the ridge breaks on down, and we'll start to get into a wetter pattern. But right now it looks pretty dry to start June, going in for the first week of June. You're looking at the 500 hectopascal thicknesses here, and what you can see is this full latitude ridge and a couple frontal boundaries off to the west of our region, western Great Lakes, and then into the plains with, again, the old-fashioned series of weather systems that are pushing into the region and producing widespread severe weather outbreaks there. That seems to be also coming down just a little bit, and most of the main activity is up in parts of the northwestern portion of North America up to our north and west across western Canada. And one of the other interesting things is that we are looking at the potential for some, maybe some kind of a subtropical system that could be developing. We have exceptionally warm waters and expecting some conditions here to support the possibility of some early tropical cyclone development. This, of course, is off the coast of Florida. And based on this area of higher pressure, this trough to our east, that's going to kick it pretty much out to sea. So no real issues to worry about at this point in time, but we are looking at a very, very active hurricane season, with the main functions being extra sea surface temperatures, very, very warm across the main development region from West Africa all the way into the Caribbean. And the other thing is we have, of course, a La Nina, opposite of El Nino for last year, and that opens the door for lesser wind shear issues. So those tropical storms, tropical cyclones will be frequent and developing over those warm waters and then heading west toward the Caribbean, eventually Florida, and then perhaps up the eastern seaboard, but that's a long ways out just yet. In the meantime, prepare for that in the back of your mind, because I think this is going to be a very active hurricane season, and we're going to see some of these come across from the Gulf, work their way up interior, or even off the coast and work their way up off the coast. So something to watch out for, but that's a long ways out, and we'll be continuing to watch for that with a warm summer ahead. So we have a Euro on the left-hand side, and we have the GFS ensemble on the right-hand side. You can see this area of higher pressure controlling the weather. Nary a raindrop forecast by both models here. So as we run the model over the next several days, you can see really not a whole lot going on here. We have the area of higher pressure pretty much in control. Anything that hits it is weakening. As it moves off and shifts to the south and east, eventually it does open the door. But now we're into basically Monday next week, and then probably Tuesday night into Wednesday would be the next shot of any kind of precipitation to worry about. And the only fly in the ointment would be one small disturbance that would detract basically into southern New England, kind of the middle Atlantic parts of New York and New Jersey and whatnot, into southern New England. This could shift north, but this area of higher pressure up here is kind of forcing it further off to the south, so it looks like it holds out. And things are looking pretty good here going into Tuesday, as I mentioned, and then Tuesday night into Wednesday, we get a little bit of this scattered afternoon shower activity. That would be Wednesday, the end of the outlook period. Now beyond that, looks like we have a little more organized weather system, 991 hectopascal low pressure system northwest of Lake Superior, kind of swinging in an occluded front into the region, and that's when we finally do break down something. But you see here, we're already into basically Friday and Friday night before anything major works on into the region, per the latest deterministic European. Looking at the GFS ensemble, the center grid on Montpelier, you can see that probably somewhere around the 3rd or 4th of June, some indications of there could be some sporadic light rain showers. That would be into Monday or Tuesday, but the European has it kind of stretched out a little further back. You eventually do see some noise in the signal here with a little bit of precipitation, and yes, it is all in the form of precipitation in the form of rainfall. And it looks like the chances come up a little bit as we head later and later into the period. The total QPF looks like this, and so a lot of dry weather ahead. Nice exceptional stretch here for good projects. This is the 7-day total QPF. What you can see is the total amounts of precipitation, accumulated rainfall, running about a ½ inch, drier to our east, a little wetter across parts of New York. That equals 1 inch in those blue lines there. This morning's 2-meter temperature anomalies look like this. We're running a little bit on the cooler side, but warmer weather is going to be building on in. And how does that look? For the meteorological output statistics, it looks like this. We're looking at running about 3 to 6 degrees above normal. And this would take us for the next 5 days. These are high temperature plots only, neutral to the south and even below normal across some parts of the southeast U.S. and to the northwest of our region. But then things warm up even more progressively. We're running about 6 degrees above normal. This is 3 days later, so about 3 to 7 days from the Weather Prediction Center. Nothing to worry about in terms of tropical cyclone activity. Again, we are watching something here that could be starting to form, or maybe something that is of interest. But at this point in time, no worries. That's going to be it. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.